my wonderful people out there? It is your boy Dread Zero, and today we're going to be talking about the Season 3 throw tech changes that came along with the Season 3 patch. We're going to be breaking it down, talking about how we need to play with it going forward, and everything you need to know right here in this video. Let's get into it. Okay, so in the season three balance patch, there was a throw tech change, and so now whenever you tech a throw, not only do you go back to neutral, but you also gain a little bit of drive meter and a little bit of super meter. I do believe it's about a bar of drive gauge for teching the throw, and about I would say about 10% filled of super meter. And so in the original patch, season 2 patch and before, whenever you tech the throw, you would just return to neutral. You would gain no meter of any kind whatsoever. And so I do believe that Capcom did this to try to mitigate the damage that throw loops is doing to the game instead of like attacking all the throw loops directly. And so I think they're trying to create some kind of incentive for teching a throw. Now, does that still leave you open for a huge shimmy punish? Yes, it does. However, I do think it's going to create some mind games in there, and that we'll talk about that in just a little bit. So I'm going to demonstrate exactly what the bar looks like after you tech a throw. So first, let me go ahead and set everything up here. All right. So I'm going to have my try to grab me, and I'm going to tech the throw as Elena. And you'll see, pay attention to how my drive gauge looks before and after the tech, and how my super meter looks before and after the tech. So I don't know if you saw that. I'll slow it down for you again and redo it. So, as you can see, I'm Elena on the left, and I tech my throw. So before I had about a bar, a little bit over 1 bar of drive gauge, and so I ended up getting just about a bar back. Yes, it did fill up a little bit after, but I got just about a bar back of drive gauge for teching the throw, and I got about a little bit under 10% or around 10% of super meter. And so, like I said, I think what this is supposed to do is to kind of damage control throw loops, because now your opponent, if they were to throw you and you were to tech, they know that you'll get meter back, and if you get meter back, what can you do after a tech throw? So let's go over some of those options here. I'm gonna have my throw me again, and we're gonna talk about some of the options that you could do with more meter after you tech the throw. So now I can drive rush because I have more meter. Whereas before, if you were getting close to burnout, let's say you had like 1 bar or so of drive gauge, if you were to shimmy, if you were to get shimmy for taking a throw, you would essentially eat a level 3 combo, take a lot of damage, and potentially get into burnout. But now, if you tech the throw successfully, you'll get a little bit over a bar back, and you can either drive rush to your opponent in neutral, or you could just, you know, walk out of the corner a little bit, take some more space. It's not as dangerous, I'll say, to take a throw. Is it still dangerous to take a throw? Yes, because you can still get shimmy and you can still get blown up. But they are trying to incentivize us for taking the throw so that way we get a little bit of meter back and a little bit of super meter back. And who knows? So let's say we're in a situation where um Elena, because Elena's super level 1 is not involved. So let me go ahead and put her down here, right? So let's say I'm really close to burnout, and I tech the throw successfully. So I'm gonna have mine come back over here, and I tech the throw successfully. Well, now I have a bar of meter back because Elena doesn't have an invul level 1. So if I were to not tech that throw and I get thrown or shimmied or whatever the case is, and I end up getting burned out, I can't defend myself from drive impact. But let's say my level 1 super bar was almost at level 2 and I tech the throw. Not only did I get drive gauge back, but I also got to my level 2 super that is now invul. And so that is huge. Think about it. Characters that do not have an invulnerable level 1 like DJ, for example, and they're getting close to burnout. Let's say they are in burnout, all right? Because you do get meter back for taking a throw in burnout too. You saw that? You saw how huge that bar was that I got back for being in burnout and teching the throw? So that is also a part of it. If you tech a throw successfully while you're in burnout, you're gaining your meter back faster than you did before. And so what this is gonna do is gonna make the opponent on offense second guess throwing you, because they can end up giving you way more meter. And as we know, drive gauge is essential. And if you end up having that meter advantage over them in certain situations, it could be very detrimental for them. So it might actually make them back off a little bit when they're trying to throw loop you. However, just as every good thing there is, there's also, I wouldn't call it necessarily bad, but there's counterplay. So let's say that even though she's on offense, was the one to tech my throw because I delayed tech. So, or sorry, because I threw her thinking that she was going to throw me, and I ended up throwing her first, and then she teched my throw. So let me show you what that looks like. So let's say my here is at 4. Let's say she's at like 1 bar meter, right? And I'm gonna have her do um, that recording where she jumps and then throws, and I'm gonna throw early. You saw what happened? My was the one that got the meter, so I'm gonna do it again. So my was the one that got the meter and the super meter. And so it's going to create that situation too on offense where an opponent might actually intentionally delay their throw so that they can get meter back so they can continue to pressure you. And I think this is really cool. I know a lot of people when we first heard about the changes or first saw it in the video with Elena, that we were speculating like, hey, this could be really, really bad. Like, what if someone, because offense is already really strong in this game, right? Well, what if someone delayed tech their throw on offense and they got the meter back and they can continue to pressure you? Well, that's all part of the mind game, right? But during the whole situation, even if your opponent who's pressuring you on defense techs your throw because you accidentally did it early or you did it too early, thinking that they're going to throw you, you still go back to neutral, which means that you're not going to get throw loop right now. And so I still think it's a great direction to head in. We still have to kind of test it out to see how good it's going to be and how much of a change is going to be to throw loops. But I do think it's the right direction. Do I think throw loops should just be removed, period? Yes, absolutely. I absolutely despise throw loops. And they're not fun to watch, they're not fun to play against, and they're not fun to do. But if Capcom's gonna do this like slow pacing thing, I do think this potentially could be in the right direction. On top of they've already started taking away some people's throw loops and making them more difficult to do. And so thinking about that, thinking that okay, if I think that my opponent's gonna try to throw loop me and I tech, I get meter back, now I can pressure them, or seeing what your opponent does, like, oh, okay, they're delaying their throw so that they can get meter back. I'm going to delay my throw even further. And so it's going to create a sense of control in the game. It's going to be more of a back and forth. It's going to be more of a conversation. It's going to be more of a two-player game than throw loops are. Because throw loops are essentially a one-player game where the person on offense could continue to throw loop you to death, or they can throw loop you and then shimmy at that last point and you die anyway. And so this is more of a conversation. There's more tact to this. And so I do think this is in the right direction. Going forward, I do think that taking the throw in the corner, while you shouldn't do it all the time because you can still get blown up for getting shimmied, it is more of a reliable choice. I do believe it's more of a reliable choice. And so that's pretty much it for this video. Basically, you get more drive gauge back and you get more super back, but your opponent can also do the same thing. It's like a mind game. It's a new way to play Street Fighter on top of the perfect parry changes. I do think that Street Fighter is going in more uh, consistent direction, a less destructive volatile direction than normally is. Like, the game's still volatile, don't get me wrong, but it's definitely going to a less volatile state. And I think eventually we will get to a point where throw loops might either be gone or there's enough answers to throw loops where they may not even matter. But let me know what you guys think. Is this a change that you feel like betters the game? Do you think that you'll be utilizing, or have you already played Season 3 a lot and haven't even really noticed this difference? Personally, I noticed that I don't go into Burnout as much as I did last season. One, due to the perfect parry change, I'm not always getting perfect parried, and you know when you get perfect parried, you lose meter. Two, I'm not always whiffing parry because I'm not always looking for perfect parry because I know that I have to actually think about what I'm doing. And three, I'm teching throws, so I'm getting meter back. And so all of this is helping. It's helping making sure that we don't go into burnout as well. But just let me know what you think about the changes. I appreciate everything that you guys have been watching the videos, been showing love, been liking and subscribing. Let's keep it up. And with that being said, your boy be out. Peace.